Hey guys, Bradley Adams here with Sport Rider Magazine, and for this episode of On Two Wheels, we've got a brand new 2013 Kawasaki ZX6R, an open racetrack, and one important question that needs answering. Is the 2013 ZX6R that much different than the 2012 ZX6R? We're here at the streets of Willow in Rosemont, California to find out. This isn't your average model versus model breakdown because despite these bikes having a nearly identical outward appearance, they're actually built with a completely different design brief. Take the 2012 ZX6R for example. This thing was built with World Supersport victories in mind. It's got a little stiffer suspension, it's got an engine that lives in the higher rev range, and worth mentioning, it was our 2009 middleweight of the year and also a contender in our 2010 bike of the year. The 2013 ZX6R, on the other hand, is built with the everyday rider in mind. The rider who is going to spend more time commuting back and forth to his office than he is going to spend at the racetrack. That being said, this bike is built around a little different suspension package, something that's a little more plush, a little more comfortable. It's also got a larger displacement 636cc engine that's going to put more emphasis on mid-range power. Plus, it's got added safety features like ABS and traction control. Don't let us fool you. Kawasaki has done their best to build this bike and not compromise any track performance. And that's the reason why we're out here at the racetrack. At the end of the day, both these bikes are going to go around the track, and both these bikes are going to go around the track quickly. All right, so while we're at the track here, what we're going to do is Kawasaki's provided us with these ride height shims. These are readily available in the Kawasaki parts catalog. So what we're going to do here is Michael's going to slide this shim in, and we're going to get that rear up a little bit. Theoretically, what that's going to do is increase agility a little bit. Side-to-side transition should be a little bit quicker. So the 600 class has sat kind of stagnant for the last year or two, and as a result, I haven't had much time on the 2012 ZX6R. So when we got to the track, the first thing I wanted to do was go out and spin some laps on that bike, kind of refamiliarize myself with it, and just get comfortable.
And that is why I love my job.
This bike is the 2012 World Supersport champion, so it's obviously got a ton of potential at the racetrack. And the 600cc engine pulls so strong past 14,000, 15,000 RPM, and that's got to be one of the most impressive aspects of this bike.
You know, there's a reason why this bike was our 2009 middleweight champion. The thing's got such a stable chassis, it's rock solid. The engine has got so much top-end performance. I mean, really, you can hardly do anything wrong. You can put the bike wherever you want, get as aggressive with it as you want, and pretty much all it does is ask you, is that all you got? It's great.
The engine is definitely the 600 strong point, but you can't fault the chassis either. The thing is really composed, really stable. I mean, for instance, Streets of Willow has a lot of tight right-left transitions, and you kind of got to get aggressive with the bike. But even when you do on the 600, the thing is completely, in line. It doesn't get upset, and I think that's really a testament to the bike's track pedigree.
Big difference between the 2013 model and the 2012 ZX6R is that the 12 has a two-piece front brake caliper as opposed to the 13 model's monoblock unit. I'll say that the 2012 bike has a really strong initial grab, almost to the point that it's hard to modulate, especially as you start tipping it into the corner. Really great brake power though, and if you use it right, you can definitely get into the corners really well.
The 2012 ZX6R's kind of got this high-strung, in-your-face personality, and after a good 15-20 minute session at the track, it kind of starts to take a toll on your body. It's a lot of effort to ride at speed. So I was actually pretty excited to get back in the pits, grab some water, catch some breath, then hop on the 2013 bike, get out on the track and see how that one performs.
All right, so we just got off the 2012 bike. I'm gonna head out and do some laps on the 2013. model now.
So we brought these two bikes together, but to be honest, the idea of this video isn't to pick a winner between the 2012 ZX6R and the 2013 ZX6R. It's more of an opportunity to see how the 2013 model differs in terms of performance as a result of its many updates.
New for this year is well, actually the engine is completely different. You got a little bit longer stroke, just around like 2.6 millimeters longer, I believe. And that's kind of added up to a 37cc displacement advantage. It's an even 636 now, reminiscent of the 2003 to 2006 model, which Kawasaki sold.
You know, right away, the 636 feels different in that its show a separate function fork is set up a lot softer. I don't think this was a hindrance at the track though, and actually I appreciated it at the streets of Willow, which is pretty bumpy, for the simple fact that my insides weren't getting beat to hell.
A couple standout features of the 2013 bike here. One of them's definitely the new FCC clutch. FCC standing for the manufacturer who makes the clutch. You can really get aggressive with the shift lever into the corners, stab the brakes, get in hot, and you just can't upset the rear of this thing. No chatter, no sliding around. It's just completely in line.
One of the nice things about testing at a tighter track is that there's tons of opportunity to test the brakes. And I've got to admit, the new monoblock setup on the 636 is extremely impressive. It's got a ton of advantages. The biggest one being is that it's really easy to modulate the brake pressure. One of the areas where this was really noticeable was turn 2 at the streets of Willow, which has you going from 4th gear all the way down to 2nd gear. And I think the biggest thing is that the initial grab doesn't upset the chassis, and you can modulate the power really well with just a couple fingers. And I think that the biggest advantage is that it allows you to set your corner speed really easily. So at the end of the day, what I think I've found is that the 636 is just an easier motorcycle to ride. Yes, Kawasaki admits that it's a little street biased, but at the same time, I think they've done an excellent job of not compromising any track performance. I mean, I can do a 30-minute session on the 600, come in sweat dripping off my face, body beat to hell. Same thing on 636, I come in with nothing more than a grin on my face, and I think that is the biggest benefit of this new platform. Overall, I'd say that the changes Kawasaki has made for 2013 are clearly for the better. In between the engine, the suspension, the electronics, the new brakes, I find it hard to find one standout addition for 2013. As a whole, the package feels much more refined. And while it may not be the track-bred monster of its predecessor, it's definitely a more well-rounded motorcycle for the everyday rider.